import and export data between CSV and Python DataFrame, and explore the DataFrame. Introduction. In this tutorial, we will learn how to import data from a CSV file into a Python DataFrame using the pandas library, and also how to export a Python DataFrame to a CSV file. This process is commonly used in data analysis and data manipulation tasks. The prerequisites are: to follow along with this tutorial, you should have a basic understanding of the Python programming language and have the pandas library installed. So step 1 is importing the required libraries. To begin, we need to import the pandas library, which provides powerful data manipulation tools and is widely used for working with tabular data. To do this, we will open a new file, create a new file, which will be a Python file, .py file, and we will use it as a Jupyter notebook with Jupyter cells by going hash %%, and that opens out a Jupyter cell. In that cell we type in import pandas as PD, and then to run it we use Control Enter. That runs it and lets us stay on the cell as well. The output here is on the interactive output window, and then we can just create a new cell here for the next line of code that we are interested in. That will be in step 2, importing data from a CSV file. The pandas library provides the read underscore CSV function to import data from a CSV file into a data frame. The function takes the file path as an argument and returns a data frame object containing the data. So it will look like this. It can look like this. And we can run it using Control C. This will mean that it's executed correctly. And when you do this, make sure that you replace the file path with the actual path to your CSV file. And notice, if you're using this in Windows, notice the double backslashes that are used. Step 3 is exploring the data frame. Once the data frame has been imported, and we can check this by just running df and see that it outputs here. But we can also check it in other ways. Once the data is imported into the data frame, you can perform various operations on the data frame. And here are a few useful methods to explore the data. The first one is the head function. returns the first n rows of the data frame, the default of n being 5. We can use the tail function. And the tail function returns the last n rows of the data frame, and the default of that also being 5. We can use df.shape, and this returns the dimensions of the data frame in rows and columns. So we can see on this one we have 3000 rows and 9 columns. Then we can use the info function. Info provides a summary of the data frame, including data types and missing values. And finally, we can use describe. Describe generates descriptive statistics of the data frame. Step 4, exporting a data frame to a CSV file. To export a data frame to a CSV file, pandas provides the to_CSV function. This function takes the file path as the first argument and allows you to specify additional parameters such as encoding and whether to include the data frame index. And you can do it like this. And this will export to this location. And I have this location here in my Explorer, so when I run this with Control Enter, it will create this file here. Another way to do this with multi-lines is to separate part of it with commas. So I can do this as well. And it looks like this. To show that this works, I will first delete this file and then go into this cell and go Control Enter, and it exports there in the same way. So again, make sure that you replace the file path with the desired path of the backup CSV file. So in conclusion, in this tutorial we learned how to import data from a CSV file into a Python data frame using the pandas library. We also explored some basic operations that can be performed on the data frame. Additionally, we learned how to export a data frame to a CSV file. This knowledge will be helpful in various data analysis and manipulation tasks. Remember to adapt the file paths to match the location of the files, and explore the pandas documentation for more advanced operations and options available for working with data frames.